Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Morning, the captain wake. Captain wake, you in the boat on. Boat on wake, you in the bowman. Bowman wake with a bottle in the hand. All I want is a long and strong. Long and strong is too much of me. Long and strong is the time of me. Oh, oh. And she said, Captain, Captain, put me ashore. I don't want to go anymore. Dana me gon' frighten me. Dana me gon' drown in me. Dana me gon' hurt me belly. Dana me a too much of me. Oh, Dana me, Dana me, yo. Dana me, Dana me, yo. Dana me, oh, Dana me, Dana me, Dana me.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
But you just heard what I think is some really, really great music there coming from this man. His name is Gavin Mendonca. I said it correctly? He's from Guyana and he's in Barbados at the moment. Good morning to you, Gavin.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Barbados.
Thank you so much for being a part of us and sharing really what is a part of your culture, your folk songs from Guyana. But you've also done some folk songs that we know too, right? Like Sly Mongoose and the like.
Yeah.
What started you with collecting the folk songs of Guyana?
So I started off as a rock musician, and I'm still a rock musician, which is very underground in Guyana and in the Caribbean.
Yes.
But we've managed to grow a community between Trinidad, Suriname, Guyana. I actually hold something called the Rock and Metal Battle this year, which will see bands from the Caribbean come to Guyana to compete for a chance to go to Germany. But through my career as a rock musician, I felt like I struggled to find identity. And I didn't want to just sound like another rock musician. So I wanted to sound like a Guyanese rock musician. So I started experimenting with our folk songs and blending rock and roll with it. And I created Creole rock, which is this fusion of Guyanese folk songs and our dialect and rock and roll. And of course inspired by people like Dave Martins and the Trade Winds and Eddie Grant.
Yes.
And in my search to display authentic Guyanese identity, I found folk songs and I found similarities in folk music and punk rock. Same simple chord progressions, repetitive themes, that kind of stuff. So I became very interested in representing my culture more and more as I traveled the world, and I've been able to do that successfully all around the world.
What's been the general response to what you offer?
It's always, to me, it always seems like people are amazed by what, especially outside of the Caribbean,
Yes.
when they see someone like me talking the way I talk, singing the way I sing. So I think it's a great response.
You seem so connected to your guitar. I love that. The fact that it is a part of who you are and not just the instrument. And so talk to me about the relationship with the guitar for you.
For sure. My guitar is an extension of myself. It's more than just a musical instrument. It's how I'm able, I think of myself as like a wizard, and this is my magic wand.
Yes,
and
yes.
with it I can manifest these things in my head and manifest the dreams that I want to become reality. So my guitar has led me around the world to again represent Guyana at Dubai Expo, at Beijing Expo, in Brazil, and around the Caribbean. I also am one of the directors of the Rupununi Music and Arts Festival in Guyana, which is a 3-day world music camping festival that brings people to Guyana from around the world. So one of my main goals is to create these cultural bridges
Yes.
through music,
Yes.
so that we could explore ourselves and our own identities and just share. Music is about sharing and caring, and folk music especially is music, I believe, by the folk for the folk.
You mentioned Dave Martins, who himself is a great folklorist through the Trade Winds work as well. Have you documented your work through recordings at all?
Oh yeah, my drummer Chucky and I from Buxton Fusion, in 2019 we started a project called Folk It Up, where we found a book of Guyanese folk songs. And Guyanese folk songs, they're kind of fading away. The young people don't really care too much about.
Happens here too.
Yeah, so we made it our mission to contribute to the preservation of our folk songs by recording a series of albums. So in 2019 we released Folk It Up Volume 1, and this past Christmas we released Folk It Up Volume 2, and it's all a collection of Guyanese folk songs and national songs, and even a couple of originals as we now write inspired by our folk songs and that kind of stuff.
And what's been the reception by the Guyanese to what you're offering?
A lot of folks are very pleased that a group of young people are so interested in preserving our Guyanese culture. So it's been great.
I think I'm assuming that when you travel and you take your work and you perform to different cultures and different spaces with different people who don't know who we are, what kinds of interactions do you have following those performances about what you offer?
I've been able to have some really cool interactions with people. For example, last October, I was in North Carolina in the US for Ethno USA, which is part of a bigger group of events called Ethno World, where every year in multiple countries, they bring musicians from all around the world together. So at Ethno USA, it was about 30 of us from about 12 different countries. We lived together for 10 days. We shared each other's songs. We built a set list, and we performed at a couple festivals as a world music ensemble. And through that experience, I've pitched the idea of creating Ethno Caribbean, where we could host this ethno event in a different island or on a different in a different country around the Caribbean every year, bringing people, other musicians, other creatives to the Caribbean. So again, we could share cultures and learn more about being human through music.
You love music.
I do. It's my life.
Clearly. I mean, because you're still very young, and here it is, you're talking in the way you talk, which says to me it has been always who you have been. And who do you think you would have you patterned yourself after anyone? Who introduced you to music?
It kind of ran in my family to a very minor degree. My nanny used to sing a lot and play the drums, and my uncle Jude was a drummer in a local rock band in the 90s. But you know, it was just me expressing myself and using music and art and poetry as a way to express how I feel inside. And my efforts, I grew up in Scouts as well, so very community oriented, and I just want to contribute to society.
Yeah. You said you had a passion for rock music. You're still pretty much at the core of who you are, that rock man. Have you found the pull between the tug between either rock, folk, and you found your fusion, or is it at some point you think you want to go back to doing rock?
I get to live the best of both worlds. Last summer, I spent in New York playing in a rock band around New York City.
Wow.
So I was able to accomplish a bunch of dreams. So I get to live my double career, and they parallel each other, where I get to do rock and roll as well as folk music. And many times I get to blend the two. And one usually opens or unlocks opportunities for the other.
Oh, that's sweet. So, who are some of your favorite rock artists over time?
Nirvana, Blink-182, Metallica. I played bass in a heavy metal band as well back home.
I get where you're going. I get where you're going.
Yeah.
But is there space in Guyana for that kind of music, or is it still very much underground?
It is very much underground, but the rock scene has seen a huge growth since post-pandemic, because we've brought bands from Trinidad, from Suriname, and again, like I said, we're hosting the Wacken Metal Battle February 18th, which will see bands from Guadeloupe, Puerto Rico, Trinidad, Suriname, and Guyana perform in Guyana. So there is space. Yeah.
Now, Guyana is our brother. Guyana is our sister. Barbados and Guyana have this warm, loving relationship for years now. How do you feel about bringing what you're bringing to Barbados?
Yeah, you know, I found in my research of folk music, I found that a lot of folk songs that we thought were Guyanese folk songs are spread across the Caribbean.
Yes.
Either different versions of them, slightly changed lyrics, that kind of stuff. So to me, like you said, we're brothers, we're sisters. The Caribbean has this shared culture through music. And I think the more we tap into that, the more we could continue to foster great community relationships among the Caribbean nations.
Sly Mongoose, go. Let me see if this is a Sly Mongoose I know. Yeah, I mean, slightly different words, but hey.
Yeah, and you know, again, in Guyana, we literally get mongoose crawling into our yards.
Oh boy.
So our version is Sly Mongoose, who named Mama Ball, because you always gotta shout at the mongoose because he coming and teeth your chicken, literally. Yeah.
That's good. But so you've got your recordings. And so for anyone in Barbados today who is saying, yeah, I like what I'm hearing, how can we get recordings?
So my music is all over Spotify and all the major streaming platforms. If you search my name, or you search Gavin and Chucky, or you search Creole Rock, or you could go to creolerock.com and you'll find links to all of my releases. And surprise, I will actually be performing in Barbados March 25th, part of the Bridgetown International Arts Festival.
Yes.
The Music is Life Festival on
Yes.
March 25th at the museum.
Oh, nice.
So I will be here in
March.
in Barbados in March, and I hope that the Guyanese community here could come out as well.
Oh, they will come
Yeah.
out. The Guyanese here are very, very active indeed. They will definitely come out in support of you. Gavin, I want to thank you so very much for joining us here on Morning Barbados today. Good luck with all of your future endeavors, and may you continue to fuse in the way that you fuse, because it is really, really good. And continue playing music, my friend.
Thank you so much for
You're
having me.
welcome. So Gavin is going to take us out on a song. I want to thank all of you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you, if it be God's will, on Monday. Take care from the crew to all of you. Good morning. Bye-bye. Gavin?
Just like mongoose, the dogs know your name. Just like mongoose, and they ain't got no shame. Oh, mongoose crawling to Mary kitchen, and out on the ship, big fat chicken, put it in the Westcott pocket, like mongoose.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.